If you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you or someone you love has been told those three words that quietly change everything. High blood pressure. Maybe your doctor mentioned it casually. Maybe it came up during a routine checkup. Or maybe you've been living with it for years, taking pills every morning, hoping the numbers don't creep higher. But here's something most people in America over 60 don't realize. Blood pressure doesn't rise overnight, and it doesn't improve overnight either. It responds to small, consistent signals your body receives every single morning, often before you even realize what you're doing. Today, I'm going to share one simple morning habit that thousands of seniors across the United States are using to naturally lower their blood pressure. No gym, no expensive supplements, no extreme diets. Just one thing that takes less than 10 minutes, can be done at home, and works with your body instead of against it. Before we begin, let me be very clear. This is not medical advice, and you should never stop or change your medications without speaking to your doctor. What you're about to learn is something you can add to your morning routine, safely, gently, and naturally. Now, let me ask you something important. How do you usually start your mornings? Do you wake up and immediately check your phone? Do you rush to the kitchen for coffee? Do you sit up too fast and feel a little lightheaded? Or maybe you wake up already feeling tense, with your mind racing before your feet even hit the floor. That moment, right after waking up, is one of the most powerful windows of influence over your blood pressure for the entire day, and almost no one talks about it. You see, your body doesn't just wake up when your eyes open. Your nervous system, your blood vessels, your hormones, and your heart all follow a carefully timed rhythm. When that rhythm is rushed or stressed, your blood pressure responds by tightening, constricting, and rising. But when that rhythm is guided calmly, something remarkable happens. Your arteries relax, your heart rate steadies, and your blood pressure begins to move in the right direction. The one thing we're talking about today works by activating what's called your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the part of your body responsible for rest, recovery, and healing. Most seniors spend their days stuck in the opposite mode, the stress response, without realizing it. Here's the surprising part. This one habit doesn't involve movement at first. It doesn't involve food. And it doesn't involve medication. It starts with how you breathe. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I breathe all day long. How could that possibly lower my blood pressure? That's a fair question. But here's the truth. Most Americans breathe incorrectly, especially as they age. Shallow breathing, chest breathing, rush breathing. It sends a constant signal to your body that something is wrong, even when everything is fine. That signal causes your blood vessels to tighten, your heart to work harder, and your blood pressure to rise. The habit we're focusing on today is a specific form of slow, controlled morning breathing combined with intentional posture and timing. When done correctly, it sends a powerful message to your body. You are safe, you are calm, and there is no emergency. And when your body receives that message consistently, your blood pressure responds. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank is a 68-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio. For years, his blood pressure hovered around 150/90. His doctor increased his medication twice. Frank did what most people do. He worried. He tried to eat better. He walked when he could, but the numbers barely budged. One morning, after waking up feeling unusually tense, Frank sat on the edge of his bed and took a few slow breaths. Nothing fancy, just slow, deep breathing through his nose. He noticed his shoulders drop, his chest loosened, his heart stopped racing. That moment sparked a habit. Within weeks of doing this every morning, Frank noticed something else. His blood pressure readings were lower, not dramatically at first, but consistently. A few points here, a few points there. After 3 months, his doctor noticed a change too. What Frank didn't know at the time was that he had accidentally stumbled upon one of the most researched natural blood pressure regulators available to the human body. The key is doing it the right way, at the right time, for the right duration. And that's what we're going to break down step by step in this series. In this first part, you're going to learn why mornings matter so much for blood pressure, what actually happens inside your body when you wake up, and why rushing your mornings may be quietly sabotaging your heart health. In the next parts, We'll go deeper into the exact breathing technique, how to combine it with gentle movement, and how to lock in long-term results without stress. Right now, let's talk about what happens in your body the moment you wake up. When you sleep, your blood pressure naturally drops. This is called nocturnal dipping. It's a healthy process. But as you wake up, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to prepare you for the day. That's normal. The problem is that in many seniors, this morning surge becomes too strong. Instead of a gentle rise, blood pressure spikes sharply. This is one reason heart attacks and strokes are more common in the early morning hours. Now here's where the one morning habit comes in. Slow, controlled breathing first thing in the morning blunts that spike. It tells your nervous system to ease into the day instead of slamming on the gas pedal. Research has shown that slow nasal breathing can reduce systolic blood pressure by several points within minutes. Over time, the effect compounds. But this only works if you do it before stress takes over. That means before checking the news, before checking messages, before coffee, before rushing to get dressed. Just you, your breath, and a few minutes of intentional calm. Let's talk posture, because this matters more than most people realize. When you slouch or hunch forward, your lungs can't fully expand. That leads to shallow breathing, which keeps your body in a mild stress state. Instead, you want to sit upright, shoulders relaxed, spine tall but not stiff, feet flat on the floor. This posture alone can reduce pressure on your chest and improve circulation. Now combine that with breathing slowly through your nose. Inhale gently for about 4 seconds. Feel your belly expand, not your chest. Then exhale slowly for about 6 seconds. Longer exhales are key. They activate relaxation signals in the body. You don't need to count perfectly. Just aim for slow and steady. Do this for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes that can influence your blood pressure for the entire day. But here's the catch. Most people do it wrong. They rush. They breathe too deeply. They force it. Or they stop after 2 days because they don't feel anything dramatic. This habit works quietly, subtly, gradually. And that's exactly why it's so powerful. In the next part, I'll show you how to fine-tune this breathing so it becomes automatic, effortless, and even enjoyable. But before we end part 1, there's one more important piece you need to understand. Lowering blood pressure isn't about fighting your body. It's about teaching it. Every morning, your body asks a simple question. Am I safe today? Your breath is the answer. If you start your day in panic, rushing, and shallow breathing, your body prepares for danger. Blood pressure rises. If you start your day calmly, intentionally, and slowly, your body relaxes. Blood pressure lowers. The choice happens every morning. And it starts with one simple thing: your breath. Now that you understand why mornings matter so much for blood pressure, it's time to go deeper into the one habit itself and make sure you're doing it in a way that actually works. Because here's the truth most seniors never hear. Breathing alone isn't enough. It's how you breathe, when you breathe, and what your body is doing while you breathe that determines whether your blood pressure goes down or stays the same. Many people try slow breathing for a few days and then give up. They say it didn't work. But in almost every case, they skipped one critical step that allows the body to respond. That step is called morning regulation. Your body doesn't like sudden changes, especially as you age. When you wake up, your nervous system is transitioning from sleep mode to alert mode. If that transition is rushed, your blood pressure spikes. If it's guided, your blood pressure stabilizes. The breathing habit works best when it becomes a bridge between sleep and activity. This is why timing matters so much. The ideal time to do this breathing is within the first 10 minutes after waking up. Not after breakfast, not after coffee, not after checking your phone. Right after you get out of bed. If you wake up and immediately stand, rush to the bathroom, or scroll through stressful headlines, your body is already in stress mode. At that point, the breathing still helps, but not nearly as much. Think of your nervous system like an engine on a cold morning. If you rev it immediately, you strain it. If you let it warm up slowly, it runs smoother all day. Now let's talk about the exact breathing pattern, because this is where most people make mistakes. The goal is not deep breathing. Deep breathing can actually make some people dizzy or anxious. The goal is slow, controlled, rhythmic breathing that emphasizes the exhale. Why the exhale? Because the exhale is what tells your heart to slow down. There's a nerve in your body called the vagus nerve. When stimulated, it lowers heart rate and blood pressure. Long, slow exhales stimulate this nerve. Short, rushed breaths do the opposite. Here's the simple pattern you'll use. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Gentle, quiet, no strain. Feel your belly rise slightly. Then exhale through your nose or mouth for 6 seconds. Slow, relaxed, let your shoulders drop. That's 1 cycle. You'll repeat the cycle for 5 minutes. Now here's an important adjustment for seniors. If 4 seconds feels too long, use 3. If 6 seconds feels uncomfortable, use 5. The exact numbers don't matter. What matters is that your exhale is longer than your inhale. That's the key. Now let's add posture and positioning, because this can amplify the effect dramatically. You want to be seated, not lying down. Sitting allows gravity to assist circulation without putting stress on the heart. Sit at the edge of your bed or in a chair, feet flat on the floor, knees bent at about 90 degrees, hands resting on your thighs or belly. Imagine a string gently lifting the top of your head upward, not stiff, just aligned. Now relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Let your tongue rest on the floor of your mouth. This might sound small, but jaw tension sends stress signals to the brain. Relaxing it helps calm the nervous system. Now start the breathing. As you inhale, think the word easy. As you exhale, think the word slow. You don't have to say it out loud. Just think it. This mental focus prevents your mind from wandering into worries, which would counteract the calming effect. Now, let's talk about what you should not do during this breathing. Do not force air in. Do not hold your breath. Do not breathe through your chest. Do not tense your stomach. This is gentle breathing, not exercise. If at any point you feel lightheaded, shorten the inhale and exhale and continue more slowly. Most people notice something within the first minute. Their heart feels calmer. Their body feels heavier. Their thoughts slow down. That's your nervous system shifting gears. Now here's where this habit becomes even more powerful. After the breathing, you'll add a brief moment of stillness. When the 5 minutes are over, don't jump up immediately. Sit quietly for 30 seconds. Let your body absorb the calm. This pause helps lock in the blood pressure benefits. Think of it like letting tea steep instead of pulling the bag out immediately. Now you might be wondering, how much can this really lower my blood pressure? The answer depends on consistency. 1 session may lower your systolic blood pressure by 2 to 5 points temporarily. That might not sound like much, but over weeks and months, those small changes add up. Research shows that sustained reductions of even 5 points significantly reduce the risk of stroke and heart disease. And remember, this is one habit, not the only thing you'll do, but a powerful foundation. Let me tell you about Linda. Linda is a 72-year-old grandmother from Arizona. She had been dealing with borderline high blood pressure for years. Not high enough for heavy medication, but high enough to worry her doctor. Linda tried this morning breathing after hearing about it from a friend. At first, she felt silly. Sitting on her bed, breathing slowly. It didn't feel like it could make a difference. But after 2 weeks, she noticed something unexpected. Her morning anxiety was gone. She used to wake up with a tight chest and racing thoughts. That stopped. Then she noticed her blood pressure readings were lower in the mornings. Not drastically, but consistently. After 3 months, her doctor confirmed the trend. What changed for Linda wasn't just her blood pressure. It was her relationship with her mornings. Instead of starting the day stressed, she started calm. And that calm carried through the day. Now let's address one of the biggest obstacles seniors face when trying to build a new habit. Memory. You might forget. You might wake up and rush. You might remember halfway through breakfast. That's normal. The solution is to tie this habit to something you already do every morning. For example, place a small note on your nightstand, or decide that before your feet touch the floor, you'll sit and breathe. Some people link it to turning off their alarm. Alarm off. Breathing begins. The simpler the trigger, the better. Now, let's talk about how this habit interacts with blood pressure medication. This breathing does not replace medication. Think of it as helping your medication work better. Stress hormones can blunt the effect of blood pressure drugs. By calming your nervous system, you allow your medication to do its job more effectively. Many seniors find that over time, their doctors notice improved readings and adjust treatment accordingly. But that decision always belongs to your doctor. Now, a common question: what if I miss a day? Nothing bad happens. Just resume the next morning. Consistency over time matters more than perfection. Now, let's add one more layer to make this habit even more effective: light exposure. After your breathing, expose yourself to natural light. Open the curtains. Step outside if possible. Morning light helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which influences blood pressure patterns throughout the day. You don't need sunbathing, just gentle exposure. Now here's a warning. Do not combine this breathing with immediately drinking strong coffee. Caffeine can temporarily raise blood pressure and counteract the calming effect. If you drink coffee, wait at least 10 to 15 minutes after breathing. This small delay can make a noticeable difference. Now let's address skepticism. If you're thinking, this sounds too simple, you're not alone. Our culture teaches us that solutions must be complicated to be effective, but the body responds to signals, not complexity. Slow breathing is a signal, a powerful one, and when repeated daily, it reshapes how your nervous system responds to stress. In the next part, we'll talk about how to enhance this habit with gentle movement, how to avoid common mistakes that sabotage results, and how to know if it's working for you. But before we end part 2, I want you to reflect on something. You don't need to fix everything at once. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. You don't need to exercise like you did at 30. You just need to start your day differently. Calmer, slower, more intentional. Because blood pressure is not just a number. It's a reflection of how your body experiences life. And every morning, you get a chance to change that experience. One breath at a time. By now, you understand the power of starting your morning calmly and how slow breathing can guide your blood pressure in the right direction. But here's something even more important. What you do immediately after that breathing can either lock in the benefits or slowly undo them. This is where many seniors unknowingly sabotage their progress. They breathe calmly for 5 minutes, feel relaxed, and then jump straight into habits that spike blood pressure again. The goal of part 3 is to show you how to protect that calm state and gently amplify it using one simple addition: light, intentional morning movement. Now, before you picture exercise or workouts, relax. That's not what we're talking about. This movement is not about burning calories, sweating, or strengthening muscles. It's about circulation, flexibility, and sending a message of ease to your cardiovascular system. When done correctly, it works hand in hand with the breathing you learned earlier. Let's start with why movement matters for blood pressure. When you wake up, your blood vessels are slightly stiffer than they are later in the day. This stiffness contributes to higher morning blood pressure readings. Gentle movement helps those vessels relax and open without triggering stress hormones. Think of it like warming up a garden hose that's been sitting in the cold. If you turn the water on full blast immediately, pressure builds. But if you let it flow slowly at first, everything adjusts smoothly. The movement you're about to learn takes 3 to 5 minutes and can be done right where you are. No equipment, no floor exercises, no special clothing. The first movement is called ankle pumping. While seated, place both feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift your toes while keeping your heels down. Then lower your toes and lift your heels. Do this slowly, about 10 times. This simple motion activates circulation in the lower legs, helping blood return to the heart more efficiently. It reduces the workload on your heart and lowers pressure in the arteries. Most seniors underestimate how important lower body circulation is for blood pressure. Now the second movement, seated shoulder rolls. Lift your shoulders gently toward your ears, then roll them back and down. Do this slowly, about 8 to 10 times. As you do this, breathe normally. Don't rush. This movement releases tension in the neck and shoulders, areas where many people hold stress. Releasing that tension helps reduce signals that keep blood pressure elevated. Now the third movement, gentle spinal lengthening. While seated, place your hands on your thighs. Inhale gently and sit a little taller. As you exhale, relax back into a comfortable upright position. Do not bend forward. Do not strain. Just lengthen slightly, then relax. Repeat this 5 times. This movement improves posture, which allows your lungs to expand more fully, supporting better breathing throughout the morning. Now here's the key. These movements are not meant to energize you aggressively. They are meant to transition your body smoothly from rest to activity. After you complete them, pause again for 30 seconds. Sit quietly. Notice how your body feels. Many people describe a sense of warmth, looseness, or calm alertness. That's exactly what you want. Now let's talk about a common mistake. Some seniors feel good after this routine and decide to do more. They add stretches, exercises, or chores immediately. That's fine later. But in the first 10 to 15 minutes of your morning, less is more. Your nervous system is still setting the tone for the day. Protect that window. Now let's talk about blood pressure measurement, because this is where confusion often arises. If you measure your blood pressure immediately after breathing and movement, it may appear lower. That's normal. But don't chase the numbers. The real benefit comes from consistent trends over weeks. If you measure daily, do it at the same time, in the same position, under similar conditions. Sit quietly for 5 minutes before measuring. Do not measure right after coffee or activity. Consistency matters more than any single reading. Now, let's talk about stress triggers. Many seniors wake up already stressed because of worry, finances, health, family, news. That mental stress raises blood pressure just as much as physical stress. This is why what you consume mentally in the morning matters. If your first input of the day is alarming news or social media arguments, your blood pressure responds accordingly. Here's a simple rule. Delay stressful information for at least 30 minutes after waking. That doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing timing wisely. Use your calm morning window to set a stable foundation. Now let me share another story. George is a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran living in Texas. He struggled with morning blood pressure spikes and anxiety. George started the breathing. It helped, but his readings were still inconsistent. When he added the gentle movement and delayed checking the news until after breakfast, something changed. His blood pressure stabilized. More importantly, his mood improved. He told his doctor, "I don't feel like my body is fighting me anymore." That's the goal. Now let's talk about sleep position, because it influences morning blood pressure more than most people realize. Sleeping on your back with multiple pillows can compress your neck and affect breathing during sleep. Poor sleep breathing leads to higher morning blood pressure. If possible, try sleeping on your side with your head and neck aligned. Use a pillow that supports your neck without pushing your head forward. This adjustment alone can improve morning readings. Now, let's talk about hydration. When you wake up, your body is mildly dehydrated. Dehydration causes blood vessels to constrict, raising blood pressure. After your breathing and movement, drink a glass of water. Room temperature is best. Do not chug it. Sip slowly. This supports circulation and helps maintain healthy blood volume. Avoid adding lemon, salt, or supplements unless recommended by your doctor. Simple water is enough. Now, let's address a question many seniors ask. How long before I see results? Most people notice subtle changes within 1 to 2 weeks. More consistent changes appear after 4 to 6 weeks. This is not instant gratification. It's gradual improvement. But gradual improvement is sustainable. Now, let's talk about what to avoid in the morning. Avoid arguing. Avoid rushing. Avoid heavy meals immediately after waking. Large breakfast high in salt or sugar can spike blood pressure. Keep breakfast light and balanced. Protein, fiber, and healthy fats are better than refined carbohydrates. But diet is a larger topic we'll address later. Now, let's reinforce something important. This routine works best when it feels easy. If it feels like a chore, simplify it. Even 3 minutes of breathing is better than nothing. Even one movement is better than none. Progress beats perfection. Now, let's discuss how this habit affects long-term heart health. Lower morning blood pressure reduces strain on the heart. Over time, this can improve arterial flexibility and reduce risk of cardiovascular events. Studies show that morning blood pressure control is especially important for stroke prevention. You're not just lowering a number, you're protecting your future. Now let's talk mindset. Many seniors feel powerless about their health. They believe aging automatically means decline. That belief itself is stressful. This habit gives you agency. Every morning, you do something proactive. That sense of control reduces stress hormones, which lowers blood pressure. It's a positive feedback loop. Now let's talk about setbacks. There will be days when you feel tired, sick, or distracted. On those days, do less, not more. Sit, breathe gently for a minute or two. That's enough. Now let's address safety. If you have severe dizziness, chest pain, or shortness of breath, stop and seek medical advice. This routine is gentle, but your health history matters. Always listen to your body. Now, let's talk about habit reinforcement. Track your routine on a calendar. Mark each day you complete it. Seeing consistency builds motivation. Some seniors enjoy journaling a short note about how they felt. You don't need long entries. Just a word or two. Calm. Steady. Good. Now, let's prepare you for part 4. In the final part, we'll talk about how to make this habit automatic, how to adapt it as you age, and how to avoid the hidden habits that silently raise blood pressure throughout the day. We'll also discuss how to know when this routine is working and when adjustments are needed. Before we end part 3, I want you to remember this. Your body is not broken. It's responsive. It listens. Every morning, it takes cues from you. When you choose calm over chaos, your blood pressure responds. When you choose gentle movement over rushing, your heart thanks you. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing one thing better. And that one thing, done consistently, can change everything. At this point, you've learned the habit, the breathing, the movement, and the protection phase of your morning. Now comes the most important part of all. Making sure this one simple habit becomes automatic, sustainable, and powerful enough to protect your blood pressure for years to come. Because here's the truth. Knowledge doesn't lower blood pressure. Consistency does. Many seniors start strong and then slowly drift back into old routines. Not because they don't care, but because life gets busy, habits fade, and urgency disappears once the fear fades. This final part is about making sure that doesn't happen to you. Let's start with automation. The easiest habits to keep are the ones you don't have to think about. That's why your morning routine is the perfect place for this practice. You wake up every day. That part is already automatic. Now we simply attach the habit to waking up. Here's the rule. Before you do anything else, you breathe, not after brushing your teeth, not after checking your phone, not after turning on the TV. Breathing comes first. To reinforce this, keep your phone away from your bed. Charge it across the room if possible. This removes the temptation to scroll and spike your stress before your nervous system is ready. Instead, place a simple reminder near your bed, a sticky note, a card, even a handwritten word like breathe. That's all it takes. Now let's talk about adapting this habit as you age. Your body will change. Energy levels change. Mobility changes. That's normal. The breathing always stays. Even if movement becomes harder, breathing remains available. On days when you feel stiff or tired, skip the movement and focus only on breathing. On good days, add the movement. This flexibility is what makes the habit sustainable. Now, let's talk about hidden blood pressure raisers that quietly undo progress. One of the biggest is chronic dehydration. Many seniors avoid drinking water because they don't want frequent bathroom trips. Unfortunately, dehydration thickens the blood and increases pressure. Make hydration gentle and strategic. Sip water throughout the morning instead of drinking large amounts at once. This supports circulation without overwhelming your bladder. Another hidden razor is excessive sodium, especially in processed breakfast foods. Cured meats, canned foods, packaged snacks, and instant meals often contain more sodium than you realize. You don't need to eliminate salt completely, but awareness matters. Read labels. Choose fresh when possible. Now, let's talk about posture throughout the day. Slouching compresses the chest and restricts breathing. This keeps your body in low-grade stress. Set a reminder to check your posture a few times a day. Sit tall. Relax your shoulders. Breathe slowly. These micro-adjustments reinforce the calm state you established in the morning. Now, let's talk about emotional stress. Unresolved stress keeps blood pressure elevated even if you eat well and exercise. That doesn't mean eliminating stress. It means processing it, talking to someone you trust, journaling, prayer, meditation. Even 5 minutes of emotional release lowers stress hormones. Your heart responds to how you feel, not just what you do. Now let's talk about sleep consistency. Going to bed at wildly different times disrupts circadian rhythm, which affects blood pressure. Aim for consistent bedtime. Your body loves rhythm. Now let's address a common fear. What if it stops working? The body adapts, but that doesn't mean the habit loses value. Instead of stopping, you adjust. Slow breathing remains beneficial at every age. If your blood pressure plateaus, that's not failure. It's maintenance. Lowering blood pressure isn't about constant improvement. It's about stability. Stability is success. Now, let's talk about when to involve your doctor. If your readings improve consistently over several months, share that data. Doctors appreciate trends. Never adjust medication without medical guidance. This habit supports medical care. It does not replace it. Now, let's talk about motivation. Motivation fades. Purpose lasts. Your purpose might be staying healthy for your spouse, your grandchildren, your independence. Write that reason down. Read it when motivation fades. Now, let's talk about identity. Instead of thinking, I'm trying to lower my blood pressure, shift to, I'm someone who starts my day calmly. Identity-based habits last longer. Now, let's talk about comparison. Do not compare your progress to others. Every body responds differently. Your journey is yours. Now, let's talk about warning signs. If you experience persistent dizziness, fainting, chest pain, or confusion, seek medical attention. This routine is gentle, but your safety comes first. Now, let's talk about celebration. Celebrate consistency, not perfection. Every calm morning is a win. Now, let's bring everything together. Each morning, you wake up. You sit. You breathe slowly. You move gently. You pause. You hydrate. You delay stress. That's it. No complicated systems. No overwhelm. Just one intentional start. Over time, that start reshapes your entire day, and your blood pressure follows. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up 6 months from now. Your mornings feel calm. Your readings are steadier. Your doctor notices. You feel more confident in your body, not because you fought it, but because you listened to it. That future begins with tomorrow morning, not next week, not next month. Tomorrow. Now, before we end, let me leave you with this. High blood pressure is not a personal failure. It's a signal that your body needs more calm, more rhythm, more kindness. This habit provides all three, one breath at a time, one morning at a time. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do one thing consistently. And that one thing can change everything.